Okay, I ran out of some memory. So back into the reason that this is I brought this out. Like I didn't. I should say that something like a symbol that you can create would make you more ingenious than it took for me to write this down, and a spell that you can come up with is going to be more powerful than anything that you found in a book. So the reason I'm going into this is because the a, occult metaphysical symbolism is there to help you challenge the reason why you say that I'm not associating with this or that thing, because whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, and or whether or not you are against it, you still know about it. You still have an awareness of something that is a sort of an obstacle to returning to your normal your not normal natural state, which you could say home base, right? Like home, right? I found this when I had a Scribd account. Scribd is a book, like a did books on digital and I don't have it anymore. So I was writing down a lot of things that were just like oddities and stuff. Like, what the hell is that? I don't know about any of this stuff, right? And I read a little detail into this. Is a chant to evoke Elogap, because Elogap is like a daemon that makes things relatable that are, like some things are easier for women to accomplish than for men to accomplish. As far as like accomplish, I mean, like, with the machismo factor, the macho, it's a little bit hard to uh, be socially adept with maybe like gay people or something like that. Then like there is the reverse. There's the opposite of that, which would be like Beetlejuice mystery, which is very like the flame that burns the brightest burns the fastest. So you have to imagine Beetlejuice is really a violent star, right? It's like really a gas giant. Like it's a monster. It's a monster, right? So and it's feminine, divine feminine energy. Like all the cosmic energies, translatable and given a context for the aspect of the masculine, uh, to convert that power into uh, patriarchy, even matriarchy. It's like I don't really split hairs. It's a it's um it's a dynastic. It's dynastic, which you get a grain seed modality. They have to want to store something that take mass farming to a level, right? So the to challenge, the it's a you get a modality, so it's not no small undertaking, right? Um, even Kanoa, you know what I mean? Like that all causes like slaves and what's it called? Collectivism, things that are astringent and mechanical, that don't have any love, that may be difficult for women to relate to. So this is like a spell, man. Yeah, I don't know. You can go ahead and try and chant this shit. Like, notice I wrote all capital letters because some of the gods that are unknown gods, and even the word like lesser gods doesn't mean like lesser, like a lesser god. It means like a god that is more complex and derisive, not derision, but like derive, like the astral plane was contrived from botanical roots seed magic, right? Which is compatible with a certain region, So when it was transported, for keys to, the slave trade, right? Then they contrived the astral plane, and so the people of the sword now have an AK-47. Like we have things that carry over onto our half. Baltimore is a Turkish slave port, and in a state with the central hub of cocaine. Like, I don't know what you say. It's like not export at that point in time. It's procurement to be the redistribution hub, right? And those are both. It's a state called Maryland, and you can't argue that having a slave port and cocaine would be something that goes on in a state called Maryland. Like, nobody can really argue that. It doesn't necessarily relate, especially to black people. It doesn't relate, but they know what they're aware of it. So you can say I don't not like it, and I you know what I'm saying. But you get a perspective from an attitude, and it can moderate your behavior. You can use it as a, and the thing about it, right, is that knowledge wants to walk that thin fine line, because what's it called? People will try to cut corners and dabble, and then they'll try to be edgy, right? And they're not walking the edge. They're not edgy. So that kind of distinguishes who is coherent, who you make coherent sense. Now this doesn't make really coherent sense. You know what I mean? But well, maybe there's an affiliate link somewhere in this, and unrelated. Don't put any money. Just go hang out. You could start to see how things work if you haven't. That's the first clue. It's just a game. Just treat it like a game. There's other things that I take more seriously in the NFT space that are not that game, but I do use that game. There's still a purpose, and it's just interesting to see, like, to exploit these things to their end. You kind of see how things actually work. And if you went in there trying to spend money, you're gonna lose some money. But there might be some other things you could do that do pan out, and or maybe pan out in a way that you didn't think that you're not considering something panning out, as far as like long-term passive income and stuff. So I'm not selling anything. This is old, and I didn't make this thing. This I don't know if somebody put a cigarette on there or something, but I cleaned this thing up and kept it because I need a table. It's a cooler, big ass old cooler, probably from the 60s or some shit.